Alright class, so this is the last lesson for Unit 1. We're going to look at how do we graph absolute values that have inequalities in them. Okay, so in absolute value inequalities, there's 4 different inequalities, so we're going to have 4 different graphs that look a little different from each other. Okay, so when graphing absolute value inequalities, the graph of the function will look a little different. Depending on the inequality symbol, we either shade above or below. And so let us look at the 4 different graphs. Okay, so the first one we have here is f of x is less than absolute value of x. Okay, so this is going to be shaded below with a dotted line because of it's not less than or equal to. So let me get a dotted line here. So this is an absolute value shape, would still have the V shape like that, but it would be with a dotted line, and then we would shade below. So let me actually get a good shading color. Okay, so we would just shade down here. And then for absolute value of greater than f of x is greater than the absolute value of x. That's a mouthful right there. We're going to have a dotted line. We're still going to have it shaded, and then we're going to have to shade it above. Okay, something up here. And then here we have the absolute value less than or equal to, so now we get to use a solid line because it's equal to. And then you get shaded is less than, so we get shaded below. And then we have a solid line again because it's equal to, but then we shade above. Alright, so once we have those 4 graphs on there, we have to look at what is the solution of that particular graph and what are not solutions. So just remember that the shaded area and a solid line are part of the solutions, and the shaded area and the dotted line are not solutions. Okay, so we're going to look at this graph and we're going to look at what are the solutions, what are not solutions. So let's graph this. I'm going to use my graphing calculator to help me out. So since my graphing calculator has equal, I just have to first draw my absolute value symbol. So we're going to or graph. So I have -2 math numbers x minus 2 plus 4. We're going to graph it, and I'm just going to try to get the graph on this. Okay, so I see that first of all, to draw this, I see that I need a dotted line, right, because not equal to, and then it's at, my vertex is at 2, 4. My vertex is at 2 and then 4 somewhere here, and then it's going through the origin, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, and then it's going through 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the other one. I'm just gonna make it go through 4. Okay, let me kind of connect these dots. Okay, all right, so we're asked to circle the points that are part of the solutions or put a box around the points that are not part of the solution. So the first one I have here is 2, 0, and I didn't shade it. Let's shade so it's less than, so we know it's going to be shaded below, something like that. Alright, so 2, 0, so we have the coordinate 2, 0, this one. You see how it's in the shaded area? So I'm going to put a circle around it because or I guess an oval, to show that it is part of the solution. Now let's look at 2, 3. I'm sorry, 2, 4. So coordinate 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's over here, but unfortunately it's on the dotted line, so it's not part of the solution. So I'm going to put a box around it. Okay, so it's not a solution. So it is a solution. This is not a solution. 5, negative 2. So positive 5 and then negative 2 is, again, it's on the dotted line, so this is not a solution. So I'm going to put a box around it. 4, negative 1. 4, negative 1. If you notice, it's in the shaded area, so I'm going to circle it because it is part of a solution. Finally, negative 1, negative 1. It's on the dotted line, so I'm going to say this is not part of the solution. Okay, there's some more examples if you want to try these, and then let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.